If you want to crack the wealth code of inconceivable, crazy, illogical amount of money that you don't even know what to do with, then this session is for you. It's for those CEOs who would love to make a lot of impact, but would love to also have generational wealth, where their generations don't ever have to worry about earning money. They don't ever have to think about money. So I'm going to use 3 levels of wealth consciousness to explain how you crack this code. And this is going to be really powerful because the 3rd level will literally blow your mind. So first level. The first level of wealth consciousness is you have started your business, or even if you're a few years down in your business and you are thinking constantly about earning enough money, having enough clients to be able to pay your bills. You really need the money, otherwise it will be a huge problem. You wouldn't be able to survive. There is a bit of a feast and famine cycle. Sometimes you're earning a lot of money, sometimes it's not a lot, and you're really focusing on your cash flows and getting a steady income and getting your business to be very profitable so you can start to live a comfortable life, and you are actually not having to worry about money every single day, right? Now, if we connect this example to dating, because love and money are pretty much on the same frequency, the way it would work, because the frequency that you have for receiving money is pretty much similar to receiving love. That's why if you are having some kind of problem with receiving money, those patterns would also be showing up in your relationship. So if we look at the dating example, think of this way, that you go on a date with a person, right? And you really want that person to say yes, like you're in a bit of need energy. I need you to say yes. And you're really focusing and trying to do everything in your power to get that person because you really need them. You cannot survive without them. So at that time, the frequency is more about trying not to lose instead of trying to win. Because what you're doing is you're saying, I really need you, so I can't actually afford to lose you. That's why I'm trying not to lose you, right? So even with money, the focus is I'm trying not to lose money. I'm trying to survive, right? And this frequency is not the winning frequency. But in this situation where there is a lack, it happens because the lack is reflected in your brain, in your mind, and that is reflected in your physical. The second frequency, so you can skip this frequency and go on the second one, but you have to first have that in your mind, okay? And then you can manifest in the physical, is a frequency where you're having a very sufficient income. You don't have to worry about paying bills anymore. You don't have to worry about traveling or going on holidays or sending your kids to private school or retiring your parents or maybe buying a bigger house or getting a better car, and you're quite comfortable with money and you are happy that their business is profitable and it's going really well, and you are now starting to get comfortable and you're starting to really get the game and you're in the game and you're having a good experience with money and it's great. Now, if we connect this back to the dating example, the way it would look is that you would like to have that girl, but you don't really need that girl because you're quite okay, you're quite happy. If the girl comes, it's great. If you take the money, connecting it to girl, it's great, you're happy, but if you're not worrying, you're not in that need energy, I need you to say yes, otherwise my life is over. You are quite comfortable. And at that point, your chances of actually getting that, that partner, if it's a girl or if it's, whoever you're dating, right, is quite high because now you don't need them. So you're not in the need energy. You're not so possessive. You're not trying to win them. You are very much like, yes, I would love to have you. It's great, but I'm quite okay. I'm comfortable. So the chances, the less you're attached to getting that outcome and trying not to lose, the less you're like, yes, I'm fine. The more you become attractive to that other person, the more you become attractive to money. Now, the third, which is the most wild frequency of money, is when you have so much money. When you have so much money that not even in 1,000 years you can understand where to spend it. Like when it's illogical, when it's not like you have this much client and that brings this much income. It's like so many clients, so much abundance and so much income. It's like you have bought your dream car, you have bought that dream mansion, you have got investment properties, you have retired your parents completely, they're living their dream life. You have helped them achieve the things they wanted to experience in their life. You have helped the causes that you really wanted. There's still so much money left. Like, you are living really the life you wanted to. You have so much flexibility, so much freedom. It's just so much overflow. And so if we think of, like, let's say 10 million, right? At that point, you're so abundant. And when you start to have more money, you maybe travel private jet, you could travel business class, you hire the jet, whatever, right? But at that time, if we add more millions to your life, we get to 20, 30, 40, the incremental millions are not going to change your life that much because you're already living a really good life, okay? You already have more money. So that is nothing out of your reach anymore. There's nothing that you cannot buy. You can go and buy that Rolex watch. You can go and buy that other watch that you absolutely love. You can go and buy the Bugatti if you want, right? So at that point, you're really coming from the overflow. Now, at that point, you are thinking about money the least because it's so much. And something really crazy happens at that time. Something really shifts for entrepreneur. And what happens is they start to focus on, how can I add the most value because I'm coming from overflow? I don't even need the money. How can I be the best of me? What product or services can I launch which will add the most value in the market, in the society, for my clients? How can I really care about the people I'm serving? How can I really think about them because it's not about me anymore? How can I bring the best in the market? How can I serve them? How can I really understand their pain points and what they're going through and really offer them excellence? Now, let's take this example, this frequency to dating. Instead of focusing on the girl now or on the date, I keep on saying girl, you can take any person, you are now focusing on, how can I be the best of me? How can I be the greatest deal on the table? How can I really work on myself and focus on myself to be the best person presented for them? Because the person that I'm going to meet on a date would want a person with certain characteristics, would want a person with certain aspirations, would want, some kind of a great experience. So I'm going to really work on myself. I'm going to really care about that. I'm going to really care about their experience. I really care and value my time and their time. I really care about who I'm being and what I'm creating for them. Right? So all of a sudden, your whole focus is not on the date, but on yourself. Not on that person in the date, but all on yourself. And that's when you become so irresistible to that person, because you're not clingy, you're not possessive, you're not trying so hard. In fact, you're detached. You have so much confidence in yourself. You want to be the best of you. You're really focusing on not just bringing something on the table, but being the whole table, right? And now that person is head over heels over you, right? They're like, oh my God, they are so possessive. They're going crazy. They want to come in your world now. They just go head over heels. They just can't resist you. And that's the thing that happens with money. When you're not thinking about, I need money, I want money, but you're thinking about, how can I be the best of me who is the match? Because I want to create the greatest experience for the people I'm serving, because I'm coming from overflow already. Because if you say to somebody, I need you, I want you, and I want to make sure that I don't lose you, the person is like, oh, you're so clingy. What is wrong? You're so needy, right? So we start to really repelled by that person because we think that they're so needy. Oh my God, I can't even breathe. Imagine you go on a first date and somebody says, can you marry me? I really need you. I want you to come to my house and live with me and never leave, like we say to money, right? So this third frequency, where you're so irresistible to money and the date because you're not even thinking about them, is the greatest frequency. Now the beauty here is, and the secret is, you can crack that now, even if you're at the first or second stage. You can crack the frequency of illogical money. And how do you do that? You do that by saying, let me practice the feeling of experiencing overflow. Now listen to this, because this is really important. Most of us don't even know what it feels like to feel an overflow, feel like I have so much money, feels like there is so much abundance, feel that peace and serenity, feeling like there is so much money that I don't even know what to do with. Like, we don't even know what it feels like, right? So you start to use your imagination, see that amount of money in your bank account that makes you feel that way. And I'm telling you, even if you go for like 50K, 100K, you'll start to tap into that feeling, because even then it's so abundant, right? And you start to tap into more and more and more, because after a certain amount of money, it's really an overflow and you're not worrying about money anymore. So you can take any amount of money and you can practice that feeling, and then you can start coming from that place. So you can use your imagination to crack that frequency. And if you are thinking, oh, but I need to pay my bills, I'm really worried, I need to scale my business, what you want to realize is this is not the fastest frequency. You're on the first two, which are not the fastest frequency. Secondly, you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes to start with, and then 10 minutes, whenever, depending on how you're practicing it, to really feel that feeling. And I'm not going to try to connect it with my physical reality. I'm not going to prove it to anybody. I'm not going to say, okay, what is the probability of me getting it? I'm just going to ask myself, how would it feel to have that money, to receive that money, and feel the feeling? And if you start doing that, you're going to start getting the answers, the ideas, the plots, the plans, the circumstances, the people from that place. You're going to start getting the business idea, the product launch idea, how you can serve your people in the best way, how you can create the greatest impact, how you can be the market leader. Because from that overflow place, you're not worrying about money. Money is getting head over heels over you, right? So you can use your imagination to practice that feeling. And the more you practice it, the more you're going to rewire your nervous system, because when you're feeling something, your neurons are rewiring. You're going to rewire them to feel that way, and that feeling will become normal and normal and normal. And then you start operating on that place. You start to get ideas from that place. And that's when, while being on the first or even before first level of frequency, you'll crack the third one. You'll crack the illogical level of money.